Hello everyone and welcome to another FxEdge Power Hour. I am Marcello Ducille. Today is January 28th, 2013, and I'm going to do today what I've done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our strategies, which are based upon the 5 p.m. Eastern Time close of our daily bars and our 4-hour bars. Why is that important? It's because we find that gives us a higher probability of success looking at the chart. So if you do get an opportunity to look at a chart, if you are doing chart analysis, you may want to use a chart that is using 5 p.m. as the close of the day. Questions and answers will follow this session. So let's go ahead and get started. Days like this, I'm actually very thankful for you guys because without you, it actually helps me to stay on top of it, because there's really nothing going on in this on these charts. You will find there's really not a lot happening in the market. It's because we're entered into a consolidation. I'll talk to you about that in just 1 second. If I can get this thing up. Okay. So we're entering into a consolidation here, guys. You remember last week we took a euro-yen trade and a euro-dollar trade. Both of those hit their first take profits. Thank goodness for that. Our euro-yen was a little lighter than it should be. We should have had more money on it. I was playing it very conservatively because we had to put a manual trade in on that. But nevertheless, we're still up 100. Well, we were up 115 pips. Now we're at 110 pips. So let's talk about what's going on in the market. Not an awful lot today. Today was like really a day of consolidation. Nothing really happened here. We had a push down and a nice rebound, if you will. Not a lot of range on this day. Probably about 50 pips. The low of 1.3424, high of 134.76. Guys, this is just a day of consolidation. Nothing was really happening. Even if you traded on the lower time frame, there just wasn't an awful lot to take out of the market besides trading inside of the range. We do have a pennant forming on the lower time frames, and so that bodes well for a continuation, a move, potentially back up. So we're gonna get some movement one way or the other. We're expecting a continuation to the upside for the time being. You can see here that the euro dollars actually closed red. Nothing that really doesn't say very much of anything at this point, because it is also right at a high. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So as I said, we had a change from red to green, got us into a buy trade. We're in that trade right now for up 77 pips on this position, and our first position closed for about 75, 77 pips as well. So we did make money on that. Dollar Swiss, I told you, I read it just perfectly right here. What I said was, right in here, I said, hey, let's get in a discretionary trade, or you can get into a discretionary trade right here, a high probability discretionary trade. We had this 200 MA sitting here. We had this reversal candles here, and I said, look for a profit target right at this trend line. So it looks like the market is obeying this trend line, and also, guys, this 9200 level that I've drawn in the yellow here, going across, and you can see here, came very, very close to that level. Went down to 9220. From where we were, it took a little while to get there, but it did make it 113 pips, and so. We didn't know where it was going to go from there, but that was a good place to take profit. And that's precisely what the market did. It did coincide also with a change from green to red, which gives us a sell signal. It was a little bit too high, but it was a good discretionary trade that would have, panned out. You'd been able to cash in on that particular trade. So if you want to look at the videos to see what my rationale is, you can go back in the last week. When this was, let's see, it was 2, 4, 6, 7 trading days ago, 6 to 8 trading days ago. So, you can start looking from the week before last, or Monday. Monday would have probably been the best day for me to have talked about that in depth. So that would have been 21st. So you may want to take a look at that. Monday or Tuesday I would have talked about that, and that would have been pretty educational there. So anyway, that's what happened there. That was a good opportunity. You can see what's going on this pound dollar. This pound dollar just continues to drop. It's actually dropped through some key areas. the 58.50 area, then the 57.50 area, which we had a nice reversal candle. See what happened here? You can see that the market bounced off this trend line, bounced to close the gap, and then just dropped right through it and stopped at another area of support and resistance at 1.5700. So it is actually doing its own thing right now. You can see that the euro dollar is not doing what the pound dollar is doing. You're also seeing that we'll talk about this in a second. We'll talk about the pound yen, which is falling in line with that. But that pound dollar, really, we had a change from green to red here, guys. That gave us a sell trade, and you can see where that's going. This was completely unexpected. I can tell you that right now. And that's why I say, just follow your signals, because you really don't know what's going to happen. We didn't get in on that signal here just because I don't know what happened. We missed that particular trade. But, that's why you try to take every trade, because you don't know which one's going to be the big one, and this would have been the big kahuna, 320 pips on the upside. All right, so let's talk about something else. Now, that would have been good for us on that trade, but I got to tell you, this pound yen really staking it up at this moment. We had a change from red to green. It gave us a buy signal, and really it was almost at the peak of our range. And I told you that was our issue, is that on this particular trade we had a range we picked up, and that range puts us at right about 140.0 and a high of 1.4400. So we're talking about a 400 pip range here, and we were getting close to the peak of that range. And you can see here, I'd hope that we get our price action to poke its head right through the top there and get us out at least at break even. It just didn't happen for us here for some reason. And so you can see here that we did go up. So our take profit was, because we're down now over 100 pips on this particular trade. So if you look, we had a stop loss of 143.54, take profit at 144.01, 144.40, sorry. So essentially, we're looking for about 90 pips or so. We didn't quite get those 90 pips or 86 pips. Price went up to the high side. Went up to 143.96, so that was about 39 pips, or sorry, 49 pips, which honestly should have come close to getting us out at break even, but didn't do that here. And so anyway, that could have gotten you out of break even potentially. But that's why that move to break even is very important. Let's take a look at what we had here as our move to break even. Our move to break even on this, yeah, that's why it's set to 75%. So there you go. Sometimes we make the same mistakes, and that was one of them. We could have been shut out at break even on this trade, and now we're down 128 pips. So that's why it's important. You're going to have to make those changes. The next version of the S&P 5, I'm just going to plug them in myself so that we don't have that issue. But when you reset up your charts, you're going to have to reset up that 50% move to break even there. All right, so we've got some good technicals, something very good that looks good technically here on this Aussie dollar. Right now, guys, we were in a buy. The buy did very well. Then we had a change from green to red, gave us a sell signal. Sell signal was viable. You can see the sell right here, and that sell is actually doing well. Believe it or not, the Aussie dollar really stunk it up in 2012. I mean, it was just an average trade. It wasn't great, but look at it. It started out exceptionally well in 2013, really making up for lost time here. And, this trade is currently up 150 pips. It was at the bottom of our list here, but we've got our eyes open here. And we're going to be looking for future behavior and see if this trade is coming back in a very, very strong way in 2013. So anyway, maximum favorable excursion, 181 pips, currently in the market with 152 pips of profit. Okay. Now what it is showing us here is a reversal candle / doji right here on this Aussie dollar, right off the 50 MA. Just because the 50 has been respected so much in the past, We had a bounce here, nice bounce here. Oh, I'm sorry, the 200. We're going to probably be looking for potentially a move to the upside here, at least 50 pips or so, to get us back to the 1.0455 area, which is where our 50 MA is. We may get a retest of the low here at 1.0410, so it's probably going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. But, you know, I think there's a pretty good chance of some upside here, of at least 50 pips, maybe back to this this area of support and resistance, which is at 1.04660, maybe a bit more to test that 50 going up. So that's where we're at on the Aussie dollar, but we are in a sell on the STP5, and it is doing well. So, okay, so Euro Yen. Our Euro Yen is in a buy. As always, it's doing well. It's doing as well as it always does. We're just up 115 pips now. We're at 100 pips or so. And, you know, the market, it does that. It's going to pull back, and it's going to move forward. It's going to do all that. But you can see that we closed out our first take profit. So we had a change from red to green, got us into a buy. All right, and on this change to red, from red to green, we were looking for a little bit over 100 pips or so. You can see that we had a maximum favorable excursion in our direction of 200 pips. And you can see that we're back down to the 100 pip mark. And we're in 100 pips of profit on the Euro Yen. So there you have it. Very good day, very good strategy, very good good run here on the SEP Euro Yen. Continues to its assault on the STP, continues its assault on the Euro Yen. Very, very good results on that particular pair. All right, so that's that. Let's take a look at our 4-hour trades. All right, guys, so you remember me talking about this yellow zone here. This yellow zone for us was our, you can see here I drew 2 lines. This is our upper resistance area. This is our lower support area. You can see that the whole deal was that we were coming into an apex, okay? Price was beginning to narrow, and I didn't change my my triangle here, my lower support area, even though price did kind of jet out of it, because the real price action was still happening inside of here. There were tests of these lows, but really price was, you know, really getting into that apex. I had so many very positive confirmations of this apex, this pennant forming this flag, that you know, I kept the pennant just the way that it was. You can see starting right here is where we are in the, what I like to call the green zone, if you will. That's the place where we expect for price action to really take off, where we expect to see have a breakout one way or the other. You can see here that price came right back inside of here, consolidated a bit more, and right at the edge of this apex, right inside of that very, very tight area here, it broke out to the upside. So that's what we're looking for. And you can see here we had a change from red to green, gave us a buy signal on the Quattro. Quattro is also having a good year, and really just allowed us to keep on moving forward. FxEdge Quattro is currently up in the market 130 pips with a risk of 33 pips, guys. So that is a good trade. That's about 4-to-1 ratio, and I know that you'll really appreciate it on this FxEdge Quattro. So there you have it. All right, so that's the FxEdge Quattro, and now we have also our IBO. So generally when you have an IBO, you're looking for some form of a breakout. We did get a breakout here. This was our last trade. Really about 40 pips of risk. Price moved up very nicely, hit its first take profit, continued up for a maximum favorable excursion of 88 pips, and this is our IBO trade. Okay. Now if you look at our IBO Rev candles, guys, let's talk about that. We had a 3-bar IBO followed by a breakout to the upside. Oops, sorry. Let me do that again. So we had a 2, 4, 6, 7-bar IBO followed by a push down, giving us a reversal candle. 1, 2, 3, right outside of our range here. So we couldn't take that particular trade. And then this one gives us another opportunity for a trade. Actually, this one does coincide. Sorry. So with this IBO, this is bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5. This is a reversal candle to the upside. It's a reversal candle. 62 pips of risk. It's an odd-looking reversal candle, certainly. And a push up to the upside, 132 pips. Great trade, guys. This is the IBO Rev candles. I don't think I've had it on the market in a long time. Perhaps I'll put it back out there just because it's doing exceptionally well. It did very, very well in 2012, and it's doing very, very well now. Not a trade that just happens to do very well. So that's where we're at. And so let's take a look at some of our other stuff. So our ATR is not doing anything right now. Just because we have a consolidation, we don't have an awful lot going on. And the TT3X isn't doing anything either. So you can see the ATR right here. Just nothing going on right now. We just don't have a signal. We have nothing going on here. I'll be putting out a new version of the ATR Sniper as well in a couple of days after a bit more testing. And so I'll get back to you guys on that. I think that pretty much sums it up. So let's see what questions you may have for me. Yeah, Dana, you did not it hit the 50% line, but did not move to your trade to break even because you didn't change your 50% break even mark, just like I didn't. So. Bond, I don't know why your ATR, we don't have a trade on it. I've got mine right here. It's wide open. We shouldn't have had one. No, guys, we're in a consolidation right now, so the BW is not taking any trades. It's basically sitting out of the market until we have a clear direction, and it makes absolute sense. And it's a part of the strategies that are being used on this particular strategy besides that. We're in a consolidation, guys. You can't make money in this. All right? You don't even want to take a trade in this. If you take a trade in this, you're going to get torn up, ripped to shreds. And you know, I know people think that they have to trade every day, but it doesn't work like that. I don't know why that is, because we did not have a trade today on it. I'm going to try to figure out what happened there, guys. If you had an ATR trade, please let me know. You know, send me a screenshot, please. I'd really appreciate it. So I've got the same version that you have. Nothing's different than my version. And if you're using FxDD, then you should have the exact same feed. And I did not have a trade. All right, guys, with that, I will talk to you later. I will talk to you tomorrow. If I missed any of your questions, I will answer them gladly tomorrow. You can send a message to info@myfxedge.com. I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.